What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. So we got a fun one today. Today we are finally installing the new Mishimoto Coolant Reservoir. If you didn't see the last video, I went and got it powder coated, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just take a look at that. Absolute piece of art. Build quality is phenomenal. The powder coat turned out awesome. Of course, ripping the riffraff cap on top. Overall, super pumped at how it turned out. Should look really good underneath the hood of the truck. For any of you guys that have been around the channel for a little while, you'll know that this is the same color that I powder coated my intercooler piping, my intake spider, and my turbo with. So now this will be the next addition under the hood, replacing that big old yellow worn out ugly bottle that's been sitting in there, and it should look really good with that under the hood. Of course, with all this new pretty stuff going under the hood, I need to start actually tidying up some of the other stuff, but overall I think it should look pretty darn good. So that's what it looks like. Let me open up the hood, show you guys what we're replacing, kind of what the quick process is, and we'll get going from here. Quick look at the truck for those of you that may be new here. Ignore the fact that it is a little bit dirty, but here's what the old girl looks like. I did get her tinted. If you did miss that video, super happy with how it turned out. Overall, she is slowly starting to take shape of exactly how I pictured her the day I picked her up. So that's what she looks like. Let me pop the hood and show you guys what we're working with. Here's a good look at what 55% windshield tint looks like. As you can see, you can still see through it, but it does give a nice little reflection off it to block out some of the visual aspect of it. Looks really good. Alright, let's see if I can pop this hood with one hand. Oh, there we go. So now you'll get an idea of what I was meaning, where you got the nice, pretty intercooler piping, and then we got this ugly yellow bottle here, which we will now be replacing, and it should be looking nice and pretty with the new Mishimoto coolant bottle in there. So of course, still got some cleaning up to do. Here's the new fuel system I built for the truck. If you guys haven't seen those videos, go check it out. And built a true regulated return system for it. Man, there's so much done under the hood of this thing. There's no way I could list it out. But what we're working on today is getting rid of this thing. So hopefully the truck's cooled down enough. I drove it probably 4 or 5 hours ago, so I think, yeah, we should be good. So I guess to get started, I think we're going to have to drain the system a little bit to drain the coolant out of the tank. Try not to make too much of a mess. And then we'll be going from there. So let's get to work. Alrighty guys, got it all buttoned up, and I would say it is looking really good. You guys could get a good look at it from the whole clip of the install, but I'll give you guys a closer look at what it actually looks like, because it looks so freaking good. Can't even tell you how nice it is to have that ugly old bottle out of the way. Which makes a big difference. Give you guys one last look at the old bottle. so you can really appreciate how nice the new one looks. Alrighty, look at this ugly, ugly thing. Now, like I said, I wasn't having any problems with it. It was still working well for me, no leaks, but man, does it look ugly. You can see over the years it has gotten a decent buildup of sediment inside of it. I'd imagine just slowly a little bits wearing off from inside the engine. Kind of a normal thing over the life of an engine. That slowly tends to happen. That's one of the reasons you get additives into your coolant to help reduce the wear and erosion inside the engine itself. But there it is, nice and ugly. I'm 99% positive this is the original one. Still got the little Ford stick right there, which you guys can't really see, but right there. Alright, well, so take one last hard look. Now let's check out the new one. Alrighty, are you guys ready? The sun is hitting it just about perfect right now. Let's show you guys how it turned out. Look at that thing. Turned out absolutely gorgeous in there. Sits perfectly, riff-raff cap. Very glad I decided to go black with that. I think it really accents it nicely. Matches the intercooler piping just about perfect. I mean, it cannot get much better than that. Obviously, still some places that can be cleaned up, but overall, this thing looks really, really good. As far as install goes, very, very simple. Got your hose clamp there, and then you saw us getting the hose clamp down below there. The one down below was a little more tricky, but it wasn't all that bad. Just had to get the right angle on it. And then you saw putting the two plugs on the back. Got the 1/8 NPT plug on the back there, and then the sight glass plug right there. As you guys can see, got it nice and topped off right at the top of the fill line. Looks full, but it's right at the top. And man, I gotta say, I am super happy with how it turned out. Just looks really, really good, and it is solid. I mean, with the plastic one, when you'd be working on the engine and you put any weight on it, it would start to bend and flex. And this thing, I mean, I'm not going to say you should sit on it or kneel on top of it, but man, it's solid. It's not going anywhere. Really, really nice piece from Mishimoto. Not sponsored by them whatsoever, but I am extremely satisfied with their product. So now, I think it's time that I need to get the custom engine cover done. I don't know if that's the immediate next thing I'm going to be doing, but that will make a nice difference on topping off the engine bay. Also thinking about cleaning up, painting the AC compressor black, maybe painting the alternator black, and maybe painting the high pressure oil reservoir black. The sun is making it kind of hard for you guys to see, but I think that would make it look really good. And then, of course, with the custom engine cover, probably doing a mainly black cover with some red highlights, same red as this. Man, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make out the flake in this thing, but golly, does it look good. So there you guys go. Let me know what you guys think about how it turned out. I think the color choice and everything about it just looks really, really clean. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Something I wanted to cover because I know it's going to be asked. I've said this before, but I know it's going to be asked again. What's the point of spending all this money on a aluminum or steel or whatever upgraded coolant reservoir? What benefits does it have? I would say that the number one reason that people upgrade to a steel or aluminum coolant tank is for the stability and sturdiness of it. Just the other day, literally just the other day, I had a guy message me saying, hey, I was looking at getting the Mishimoto Coolant Reservoir. I just didn't want to dish out the money for it. It's expensive. And I just got an OEM replacement one, and it cracked the week after I bought it. The week after he bought it. That's the main reason people upgrade, is because for whatever reason, the new production coolant reservoirs, the plastic ones, just were not built nearly as sturdy as the old ones, and they tend to crack. So now, as far as upgrade options go, I don't think Mishimoto is the only one that makes these. There's probably a couple of companies that make them, and there's also a guy that I found on Instagram. I can't remember the exact names. It's Rhino something. But I can't remember his exact name, but I'll link it down below. He also makes, I believe, stainless steel versions of these for a little bit cheaper than what the Mishimoto ones are. Might take a little bit longer to get, but for the most part, it looks like he has some pretty good progress. He's a fabricator out of his own garage. So I'll link him down below if you guys are interested in that. As far as the Mishimoto ones go, you don't have to get the bare aluminum one like I got. You can get a kind of a wrinkle black version of the exact same thing for the same price. Only reason I went with the aluminum one, or the bare aluminum one, is because I knew I wanted to color match it to all the other stuff under the hood. So there's different options out there. Like that guy learned, he knows who he is. I'm not bashing on him at all. There's been tons and tons of people in that situation, but it's kind of one of those things that you just buy once, cry once. It sucks when you're trying to save a little bit of money and you buy the cheaper option and it ends up kicking you in the butt later. I've been there more times than I can count, and so when I can, I try to avoid doing that. And this is kind of one of those things. So I don't want to ramble on longer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about what it looks like. I'm pretty darn happy with how it turned out. I'm finally at the point now where basically all the maintenance things are done to my truck, the main performance things are done to my truck, and now it's doing the stuff that's fun, cosmetic stuff. It's just kind of making her look pretty and making her look nice. And so I'm doing a lot of that stuff now, as I'm sure you guys can notice. The last couple of years have been maintenance and upgrades of some sort, and so now we're on to making the old girl look pretty. So these are just kind of fun things for me to do. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. Maybe give you guys some ideas on your own rigs. Sorry if I'm convincing you guys to spend extra money, but I'm just having fun here. For me right now, it is the Friday night before Memorial Day weekend. You guys will be getting this on Sunday morning, which means the next day is Memorial Day, if you watch it the day it comes out. So I'm not real good at the whole sentimental thing, but I wanted to encourage you guys this weekend or on Memorial Day to kind of just take a step back. I'd think about the real meaning of the holiday. Think about what it represents for a lot of people, and even for me, we get excited about an extended weekend or a long weekend, and of course that's great, but I encourage you all to kind of really take a step back and think about the meaning of the holiday and the sacrifice that it represents. There's a reason we have it. It's to honor the sacrifice of all the men and women that have died fighting for our country, not only for our own freedoms, but fighting all over the world to help people they may not even know, to help make the world a better place. So I encourage you all to just kind of take a step back and appreciate how lucky, for lack of better words, we are that there are people like that in the world willing to lay down their lives for us, so that we can live the way we do. With that, hopefully you all have a great weekend. Spend some time with friends and family if you're able to. I'll catch you guys on the next video.